Hello. So you guys hadn't seen me in a couple of weeks. Hi, my name is Linda Murray Bullard, and they call me the business plug. So good evening. Come on in. Welcome to the Business Plugs Mixer. It comes on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It airs live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And this is my opportunity to have business conversations with business people. And so, what we generally talk about is business topics, or we talk about things that most people may not know are going on. Like, I got some really good guests lined up for you starting March 3rd. Starting March 3rd. So, until then, you're going to have me. And I hope you don't mind that. But right now, I am getting ready to do a Grant Magic. So Grant Magic happens Friday, February 23rd. Is from 10 a.m. Eastern Time to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And in that 4.5 hour period, you're going to learn everything you need to know about getting grants. Like, it's going to go deep dive. So if you're interested in that, I am giving you a sample of that today, but we're going deeper. I'm going to answer all of your questions. I have people that are coming on to help me. We're going to make sure that you have everything you need to go into this grant money. Have y'all seen these grants out here? I don't care what you do. It's grant season, guys. I told you guys, February is grants, kicks off grant season for the new year. The businesses have closed their books. They've closed out 2023, and now they're ready to start giving the grant money out, right? And so there are some prerequisites that you have to do in order to get the grant money. We're going to talk about those on Friday, right? I'm going to make sure you have everything from A to Z that you need to know about grant money. But the reason I'm coming on today, the reason I'm coming on today, because I saw this ad, and this guy, he said, this book is $20, and I am going to help you apply for government contracts and grants for $20. And he has this book. It reminds me of the guy that had the question marks all over his suit, right? Like the Riddler. But it reminded me of that. And that may even be the same guy. I don't know. The only person I know that got rich off of that was the guy who sold the book. Like the people, I don't know anybody that paid for that, but I got it. I don't know I don't know anybody that made money off of that book with the guy with the question marks on his suit. But I can tell you that $20 book that he's selling you, I don't know about him being you, because he in the ad he said, I'm going to make sure that you can apply for government grants immediately, right? And there's some prerequisites that you have to do to apply before you apply for government grants. There's like a list of things that you need to do. And I don't know. I've not seen the book, so I can't say it's not there. But I would imagine that you're not going to be able to apply for government grants immediately, like he says, because I know that there are prerequisites that go with that. And the ones who will be able to do it immediately must have already got those things in order. I don't know. But anyway, but I came on tonight because I want to show you. I want to show you some things about grants. I want to show you. So people talk about government grants, and this is something you can do uh, as a business owner, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're for profit or nonprofit, because the government does business with both. so, so it doesn't matter if you're for profit or nonprofit. And I meant to already have this up and open, but it has been in my afternoon. My afternoon has been a little bit off kilter. It's been crazy. But in any case, I'm opening it up now because I want to show you guys how to look at the grants, some of the grants that are offered by the federal government, right? Because that's what that guy said. He said, I'm going to show you how, and I'm not going to charge you $20. I'm not going to charge you anything. In fact, I'm going to show you right now as soon as I get my code so I can get in here. Once I get in here, then I'll be able to show you. I'll be able to show you how to look at the grants, right? Because I want you to to look at the grants. So the federal grants, Lord help us. These people trying to get my people. I hate when people try to scam people. I don't like that. But I'm going to show you how to look at grants. And I'm trying to make sure. Let's see, I have to share my screen. Share screen. Come on. Now, you see that right there? So, what I did is, like I said, today I'm showing you how to look at government grants because I saw that little guy with the $20. I thought, oh, bless his heart. But I want to show you how to look at government grants. So you can look up government grants by simply going to grants.gov, right? Grants.gov, and you can look at. And I'm trying to put it in the comments so you can see it. Grant.gov. So you go to grants.gov, Grants, Linda, grants.gov, and you can look at federal contracts and grants, right? And so this guy, I don't know, because what I do know about these types of grants is there are some prerequisites that you have to fulfill before you can become eligible. Like applying for them is fine, but you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to win. The winning is better than the applying. Like everybody can apply, but that doesn't mean that you're going to win it. And so I want you to make certain that when you're spending your $20 to these people or anybody, I've seen so many posts where they're saying, "Oh, SBA grants, $100,000, no EIN, no LLC, nothing. Just come and get it." And I'm thinking, baby, you all know the federal government has more red tape than anything. And so when you see people say stuff like that, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, go past all that, because a lot of people out here taking advantage of people's vulnerability. And so they're making these offers of things that they can't really fulfill because they know that people wanting to get grant money and people wanting to fund their business and their dreams and things. And so they are trying to take advantage of that. And I don't want that to happen to you. So wherever you're watching this, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you're wanting to join me on Friday, where I go deep dives into this type of grants and any of the grants that are out there, because again, it's grant season. And so I'll tell you everything from A to Z about grants. Like we're going to talk about what it takes to get you started. What do you need to know before you apply? What do you need to do after you apply? Like, what do you need to do after you celebrate? And so my business has been awarded a part of a grant here recently, and I am ecstatic about it. I am really, really looking forward to working with people and fulfilling this opportunity. And I want you to be like me. I want you to do it too. It's just February. We're going into March, but we're in February. And wouldn't it be great if your business had a grant to do the work that you're already doing? So I have people ask me things about, and I had this call today, and they said, well, I don't really have money for you to write a grant. So can you write the grant and then put your fee inside of it? So when I win the grant, I'll pay you. That's not ethical. Like that's not ethical. You can't do that. You can write into a grant for future payment, but you can't write your current payment into a grant. So anybody that's telling you they're doing that, they're being unethical, and you're not supposed to do that. So that's not how it works. That's how it works. The person should get paid up front and walk away from it, right? But people say, well, I know this guy, he told me that his grant writer got a percentage of what he got in, and da 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 da. I don't know anything about what people are doing. I cannot affirm or confirm or anything about what somebody's doing. People doing all kind of stuff out here. But I know as far as ethics, you are not supposed to put your fee in a grant. You're not supposed to tell somebody that give me 10% of what you get. You're not supposed to do that. Okay. And so there's some compliance issues and things with that. But like I said, this is the website for governmental grants. It's grants.gov with an S. Grants.gov. And you can go in. You see how it has a search engine over here on the side? You can go in and actually put in the type of business you are, the type of grants you're looking for. Like what do you do? Like if I had a women's ministry, then I would look for women. Or if I had a youth ministry or a youth thing that I was doing, then I would look for youth. But before you get here, there's some prerequisites that you need to know. And that's the part people aren't talking about. Now, I love the fact that people are introducing others to grant funding, because grant funding will help you to get sustainable in your revenue, right? So grant funding is the government awards you the grant and you implement it, right? And so those payments, those grant payments, will help you to have revenue in your business so that your business can become sustainable in the long term. But with that being said, now those payments come with doing the work. You have to agree to do the work, and you don't want the federal government coming after you. Like, you don't want, and if you're in the state, we're going to go through state grants. We're going to talk about governmental grants based on who's in the room. My job is to have them bring their laptops so that we can actually do these prerequisites while we're together, so they have a checklist of things to do. Because at the end of those 4.5 hours, I'm not going to do like dude with the $20 saying you can immediately, if you have already done the pre-work, then yeah, you may be able to immediately start taking advantage of some grants. But if you haven't done the pre-work, then you're starting at plan A. And so you got to go all the way to A to Z, right? But you will have enough information and a checklist that's going to help you. And here's the thing. Ideally, I want you to already be in business 3 years. Like, why? Well, I want you to be in business 3 years because there are certain registrations you can't get unless you've been in business 3 years. That people don't talk about that. There are other registrations you can't get unless you've been in business 2 years. So we're going to talk about which one. So you need to be in business at least 3 years to be safe. 2 years is the minimum. And in order to get this kind of funding, like, you have to show proof of concept. That's the thing, is a lot of people saying, oh, I need grant money, I need grant money, I need grant money, but they haven't been in business. And now there are some grant, some they call them seed grants, right? So we're going to talk about all the different types of grants, because there are a lot of different types of grants. Like, there's more than the ones that people think of the most of. And I can tell you, the ones that people think of the most of, they think that there is like 1 million unrestricted grants where you can go out there and just get the money and do what you want to do. And that is not real. That is not real. That is not real at all. But there are seed grants out there that will help you start businesses. However, the majority of them are not government grants. So I get the questions I get all the time. Are there government grants out here for me to start my business? I've only seen it once in my 10 years of being a business owner. I've only seen it once, and it was only there for like 3 days. So it may have been a mistake, and then somebody said, oh, we don't do that, and they came back and take it. Hey there, my son over in Cameroon. Hey there, thanks for joining me. But I'm talking about getting grant funding, and there's some Cameroonian grants out there too. So that's the thing about the United States government. They are the biggest buyer of supplies in the world. And so being in a different country, because he's in Africa, being in a different country doesn't make a difference, because if you go to grants.gov, there are grants for Africa and other places in the world outside of the United States. We do business with the world. And so therefore, this is a rich place to go. But there's other things, other tricks, and other things that you should know. And that's what we're going to talk about on Friday when I do the Grant Magic. Grant Magic came about because we were in December, I think I had lunch with somebody, and they were like, how can I serve business owners? And I said, well, what I've been seeing on my timeline, and I go by what y'all talk about, right? And so I told him what I've been seeing on my timeline is businesses really are saying they need access to funding. And he and I talked about that because a lot of times it's not that you don't have the access. A lot of times it's about most businesses are not ready, right? You're not ready to get funding. And because you're not ready to get funding is kind of hard for you. So I want to help businesses. Like my goal this entire year, my one goal, right? My accountability partner, she always talk about Linda. One goal, one goal, because how wonderful it would be to reach that one goal. So my one goal this year is to help 124 businesses get certified. 124 women-owned, minority-owned, veteran-owned, disabled business owners to get certified. That's my one goal, to have 124 of them. And I've already started. So I kicked off the year in January and had 3 businesses get certified back to back. So yeah, so some things I got coming up is going to help me get to where they go. Again, my goal is 124 businesses to get them certified for 2024. But in addition to that, I also want to teach businesses about grant funding and about sustainability plans and about how to get longevity, right? And so if you are a business who is 3 years or more, like this is going to be your job. This is going to be the groove that you need to be involved in. Like my goal is to teach you as a 3-year or more business owner how to get grant funding. And we're going to talk about all this year. I'm going to be talking about sustainability. All this year, something just happened to I haven't moved. So the federal government saying, hey, lady, if you're not going to move, we're going to log you off. Yeah. Don't do that. Okay. So talking about grants.gov. So over grants.gov, I was telling you that you can use keywords. So it has keywords, opportunity numbers, and it has the CFDA. So any of these, you can do the search. When I was telling you earlier, I said, well, if you know that you are going to, and my W key is craziness. So yeah, so let's not do that. My W key is crazy, so I have to find a W. So that I can show you how, let's say if your business deals with women, right? And I'm looking down trying to find a W because my W, those of you who follow me, you know my W key and we have issues. We are definitely having issues because my W key and 2 key, they went out all at the same time. So, but if you look at some of these grants, it has measurements of community perceptions. It has development science. It has, I saw another, there are educational grants, science grants, land management grants. Like there are so many vaccines, immunization for children. There are youth grants. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do youth. So in the keywords, if you put who you serve, right? Put whoever you serve. And then right here beside that, you want to get, they have forecasted, right? So forecasted are those grants that are coming down the pike, and they're just trying to see if there's any interest in them. So you have forecast, and then you have posted. You want to get the posted ones because those are live grants. Those are grants and contracts that are out there and they're live, and you can apply for them today. So forecast and posted are the defaults. And then they have cooperative agreements, grants, others, and procurement contracts, right? And we're going to talk about each of those on Friday. But the one for this right here, because I said I was going to show you grants. So I'm clicking on grants right now. So then it reformatted and got rid of some things for me. So I'm still doing youth, right? So youth is my keyword that I'm searching with. And under youth, it has advanced youth activism and engagement. It has transitions of youth with autism and epilepsy. It has youth activism programs. It has all types of anything that has the word of youth in it. And so I've searched grants. It says there was 196 of those out there. And then it talks about the eligibility. Now, this is where you will narrow it down based on how your business is structured. So I'm not a city or township or government. I'm not county. I'm not a for-profit organization other than a small business. I am a small business. But if you are a for-profit organization other than a small business, this may be something for you. Even individuals, there are 17 grants for individuals. So you don't have to be a part of a grant per se, but you still have to have some registrations and prerequisites in the way. And we'll talk about that on Friday. So I'm scrolling down, and I only want to see the grants for small businesses because that's what I am. And so it reformatted again, right? And so we went from having 129 to now it says there are 27 grants for youth for small businesses. That means if you are a for-profit business, if you've been in business 3 years or more, that you can apply for these grants, right? And it talks about what date they posted the grant and the date that the grant actually closes. And so they won't be taking enrollment after that. And so some of this, like this one stops, it's a laboratory, advanced laboratory, it stops in 2026. So all over the side, you can see effective school-based health centers. Like there's so many. I mean, the thing about grants is with grants, you go ahead and build your business the way you want your business to operate. And then you go look to see if there are any grants that fund the idea that you already have. What happens a lot of times is people will say, well, Miss Linda, are there any grants that will help me get my business started so that I can make millions of dollars? That's basically what they be saying. And they be like, no, honey, there's not. If there was, Miss Linda would have one. but the thing about it, if you are interested in serving your community, if you're interested in having a viable business, if you're interested in having consistent revenue income for your business, like getting contracts, getting grants, getting contracts like private corporation contracts or corporation contracts or federal contracts or state contracts. We're going to talk about all of that on Friday. My goal is to help business owners learn more and more and more about grant funding so that you can be intelligent and so that you can prepare. A lot of this stuff, like we look for other people to do it for us, and I get that. You know, I wouldn't have a job if people didn't look for people to do it, to help them. But if you have writing skills, we're going to talk about what that wording should look like. We're going to talk about how you map it out. We're going to talk about the plan. And what I do, and my clients can tell you, you can go on google.com and see what my clients say about it. What I do is I teach them to create a grant packet. And the grant packet is something that they can rinse and repeat as many times as they want. My dear friend, God rest his soul, who was my mentor in this whole grant thing, told me, he said, you know, they need to apply for 10 grants in hopes of getting one or two. So people think, well, oh, I applied for a grant and I didn't get it. I don't believe in grants, right? But during the pandemic, I actually won both the Facebook monetary and the Facebook ads grants. I won both of those. I won Sankofa gave me money to help Black businesses learn how to get their back office together. So I won that grant. I won the Comcast Rise grant, and that included a video and being on their platform for 90 days. I won the eCornell. So I have a certificate from eCornell where I have a certificate for women's entrepreneurship. And then there are several other monetary grants, right? So you have to think about what your needs are, and you have to apply for the grants that fit. And we're going to talk about all that Friday. I promise you, if you are in the room, you're going to have the information you need to apply for grants. You're going to know how to get ready for them. You're going to know where they look like. You're going to know where they are. And you're also going to know how to apply for them. I had a client today ask me, said, well, Linda, can you just show me what I need to do so I can get ready to apply for a grant, right? And so I gave him a site and gave him a place to go so that he can help. So that he can be studying on how do you get grant funding. Like once you understand it's not rocket science. It happens all day, every day. People are getting grant money everywhere. You've probably heard some friends getting a grant. You're like, how did they do that? Well, I am here to do Grant Magic on Friday from 10 a.m. Eastern Time to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to walk through every aspect of you getting grant funding because I am sincere when I tell you that I want all business owners who think they don't have access to capital. I want you to learn how to apply for grant funding. I want to empower you to do this. Hey there. How are you, Kiba? I want to empower you to understand grant funding at your level based on whatever business you have. Because once you understand and once we just demystify it for you, you're gonna say, "Girl, I'm ready. I'm ready." And the thing I do, if I've helped so many businesses get set up on grant funding, that they're just rinsing and repeating what I did. I had my shout out to my friends in Virginia who said, "Girl, if we didn't have your grant information, we wouldn't have got through COVID." Like that is such a good thing for me. That lets me know that what I'm doing matters, right? And then I had one of my students. She went and got a U-Haul grant to help her deliver uh, food and clothing to different people. She was using a vehicle at first, and she got a U-Haul grant. Who even knew U-Haul had grants, right? So, but based on whatever industry your business is in, based on what you're doing in your world, I am here and will be here on Friday. It's called grantmagic.eventbrite.com. I want to show you deep dives into the federal space, your city space. Like it's called, if you wherever you're watching, there's a link to get a ticket today so that you can reserve your seat because I want to walk you through getting grant funding for your business. It is grant season. I told you guys in January, I said, January going to be kind of slow because people have to close their books. Corporations close their books. And so January is mostly a tax month where they're working and trying to close out the previous year. But starting in February is when they start awarding those grants. And I've had, like in my group, I have a group, Facebook group, how to build building your six-figure business, building your own six-figure business. That's my Facebook group. And in that group, just this past week, I've dropped like youth grants. Galaxy has a grant. Like all these grants are coming out of the woodwork, but you have to get ready for them. There's some prerequisite things you need to have in place. That's what we're going to talk about. Like I'm going to put you in the best position that you need in order to get grant funding. And I'm doing it on Friday from 10 a.m. Eastern to 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And it is a 4.5-hour workshop. Bring your laptops. Like you have to have your laptop because you're going to want to do this as we talk about it. And so I'm going to show you like hands-on, like me sitting with you wherever you are in the United States. I'm going to show you hands-on how to get the grant funding that you're looking for. We're getting ready to demystify some stuff around here because, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Please do, ma'am. Please do. I hope you do. I hope to see you Friday. It'd be good to see you anyway. I hope to see you Friday. But my goal is to help small business owners get the funding because I don't want you to say, I don't have access to capital. You have access to capital, and I'm going to get you ready to get that capital so that you can do what you need to do for your businesses. My name is Linda Murray Bullard, and they call me the Business Plug. Come join me Friday for Grant Magic so I can show you how to get the grant funding that you and your business need so you can go next level. We're talking about building sustainability plans. That's what we're doing. We're making sure that you have the funds you need in order to expand and grow your business. That's where we at. Hope to see you all Friday, and I'll let you go. Catch the Business Plugs Mixer Sundays here at LinkedIn, Facebook, and on YouTube. And I'll be checking with you next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you all there. Thank you for joining me this evening. Let's meet on Friday. Click the link, get your ticket, come join me. Bye.